Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers, and this morning I'm looking at a book from Hart Publishing, which I think is excellent. It's called Sitting in Judgment by Penny Darbyshire. Not a lawyer, I hasten to add, but it's about lawyers. We've given it the title, Sitting in Judgment on the Judges. Read this book, and this is a book judges should read as well. This is the book here. There's a nice little back cover, some detail on it. You can see that there are useful footnotes. It's not paragraphed or anything like that, but they're useful footnotes, and there are in fact a nice sort of flow of English all the way through. There is a very detailed index at the back. It's a book I think very suitable for people who are reading jurisprudence in particular, and the book itself, as I say, I suppose it runs to something approaching just under 500 pages. But what I like about it is they do actually have, Penny has put in conclusions to the specific chapters. It's well worth reading if you're interested in any way in the way in which the judiciary is shaped and the way they're going at the moment with the changes that are taking place in our society. What we say though is this: for those of us in the law, whether barristers or solicitors, this very readable book has that un-put-downable quality about it, which we're sure will lead to an impressive level of interest, not just amongst the legal beagles, but I think with the general public at large and with academics. It's new from Hart, and I think what we've got here, it's taken a long time to produce this book, but what we've got here is a very good contribution towards the way we see judges today. Quote, "I wanted to find out what judges did in and out of court and what they were really like," says Derbyshire. And of course what she's done is, there's a disparity of course between the public perception of judges and the reality. I mean, obviously I as a barrister will have my own views, and I'm sure members of the public will too, and of course readers of the Sun will have a totally different view in addition to that, based on quite often on a lot of prejudice. However, unlike the commonly held stereotype of eccentric buffers out of touch with the real world, senior judges that Derbyshire met seemed, in her words, unpretentious, quick-witted, perceptive, and encouragingly kind to her students and to people that obviously she was talking to. The publication was funded by the Nuffield Foundation, and I think it's a very useful project to have been put forward. Clearly the issue here is through the analytical eye of a sociologist, but of course the point is that she's looking at it from a very different standpoint, and I think that's very helpful again if you're studying jurisprudence and looking at the legal enforcement of rules, which is basically what the judges do, and the interpretation thereof. Writing in the foreword, Lord Judge has pointed out that until quite recently this kind of research would not and did not happen. That shows you how the judicial world has changed so much. However, there are points which you might consider about whether it's actually 100% objective or not. Obviously she's going to come down to particular points because we're not going to get rude judges being mentioned too often, but we've all come across them and we all know about them. We confess to being a little confused as to what is meant by recently in the studies that have been taking place, because clearly it's spread over a long period of time, but I think what she's done is built up a very good picture of where we are today. However, I think it's an excellent book, fascinating, and something which is well worth reading to a much wider audience of people. So thank you very much to Hart and to Penny for a great contribution to our thinking. Bye bye.